This is World Rally Radio on WRC.com.
Welcome to the official WRC podcast for the Rally d'Espagne. It is the penultimate round of the 2011 FIA World Rally Championship, and we have 3 drivers still in with a chance of winning the driver's title this year. It is going to be a heck of a race to the finish, and I'm sure it's going to be a heck of a race to the finish here in Spain this weekend. Massively interesting rally, this one. I'm Colin Clark from WRC Radio. Joining me, as always, from WRC Television is Julian Porter. Josie, just mentioned there, an interesting rally. So much at stake in this rally this weekend. But Rally of Spain in the past has given us some relatively boring rallies. It's not going to be the case this year because, again, we have a day of gravel to start off with, and we have all sorts of things to think about. Dust, weather, tyres, punctures. So much at stake and so much to think about.
Well, that's it. I think, was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the top 10 didn't change from day 2 to day 3, and it was processional to say the least. But this weekend, there's a massive amount at stake. 3 drivers within 3 points, 2 of them joint at the top. Loeb, Herven and Ogier just behind. But then the key is tomorrow. A day on gravel. I think it's, I don't know, percentage-wise, it's probably about 96 or something percent, 95% on gravel or something like that. And listening to what the drivers have been saying this morning, Loeb says tomorrow could be one of the most crucial days in the World Championship. He thinks there's a lot of sweeping to be done.
Well, there is a lot of sweeping to be done, potentially. I've been out and had a look at those stages, and it is remarkably dusty. And the sand on some of those stages, I mean, there's more sand there than there is on my local beach in Broughty Ferry. It is just unbelievable, the amount of sand. But 2 things there. There's so much gravel, I think, it ain't going to clean. It really isn't going to clean. And the other thing is the dust. Clearly, if you're cleaning the road, you're chucking the dust up, there's the potential that you get the cleanest in terms of the visibility. You get the best road position being Sebastian Loeb. So the weather will play a big part. If it rains, if it's damp overnight, it'll be bound together, the loose surface. And then Sebastian Loeb will be smiling tomorrow morning. If it stays dry, as you say, he could be in trouble. But the others then could be in trouble in the evening with the dust issues. Difficult, complicated, but difficult.
Yeah, complicated, difficult. It's just what we like as reporters at the end of the stage. The weather forecasting I'm hearing, I mean, it may be some rain Saturday and Sunday. More chance of Saturday than Sunday. So that leaves tomorrow potentially is not a minute. No talk of rain. Obviously, the weather can do its own thing. It can change very quickly. But I think, I mean, Loeb's obviously, he's worried, first on the road. He needs an inspired day, though, from Hervenen. Because Hervenen's right behind him, you know what I mean? There's only one car, so Hervenen needs to be inspired to really worry Loeb, in my opinion, just because of the one car.
So who is Loeb worried about? You say he needs to be worried, needs to be inspired. Is Loeb worried about Hervenen, or is Loeb worried about Ogier? Do you think, with all the recent shenanigans that's gone on within that Citroën team orders, joint number ones, all the rest, Loeb being told that, yeah, you are now the focus of this team, it is your World Championship to win, do you think that Loeb is still watching Ogier? Because Ogier, on the face of it, if the weather stays good, has the best position.
He does have the best position. I have to say, listening to what's been coming out of Citroën, it's not Ogier he needs to be worried about. I think, I don't know, Sordo was shockingly disappointing here last year on Friday on the gravel, and that was against Loeb in the same car. We know the Mini's maybe not as great on gravel as tarmac, but could leave Danny a lot of work to do Saturday, Sunday. But I mean, I think Loeb is just he's just concerned. I think it's really the Hervenen thing he's concerned about. But I don't think the one car will make that much difference. I think maybe he's psychologically building these boys up at Ford and thinking, hang about, what I might do is just a bit of reverse psychology. I'm worried. This is Loeb saying this. And then Hervenen thinks, I've got to push. We've got him worried. Even before it starts, let's push. And maybe they might make a mistake or something like that. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. I mean, we hear this from Loeb so many times. I'm concerned about sweeping. And he's right up there. I mean, there's going to be no road order tactics tomorrow night, so he's not got that to worry about.
No, tomorrow's all about pushing on and building a lead.
That's it. So I think, I don't think it's a bad thing to come in with a slightly bit of apprehension, you know, because it's a crucial. There's 6 days of rallying to go, you know what I mean? It's crucial now, and one small mistake could just jeopardise your whole season.
It really could. and we think about the last time, Sebastian Loeb, we're at, if you like, the third of our 3 tarmac events, because we'll call this a tarmac event, because it's predominantly tarmac. Obviously, had a bit of a nightmare in Germany, and that he had that puncture, lost what was his victory, and it looked like he was going to win up until he had that puncture. In France, it was a total disaster, an absolute disaster on stage. What was it, stage 4, something like that? 3, the engine goes, bang, end of his chance to win Rally of France. Now, you think back to the last time that he had a bad run of luck, and he had a huge crash in Greece, followed by an off in Poland, and then Australia, they had that problem with some kind of homologation.
And before that, it had the Sardinia puncture when he got penalised for stopping without the belts.
Absolutely. So what you say that these things come in threes. Do you think Loeb is thinking, is he a superstitious man? Does he think that way? Does he think, I've had a couple of problems, if I have another little one like that, then I'm in big, big trouble?
They'll all be superstitious to a certain degree. Be it putting the right glove on before the left glove, you know what I mean? Putting the crash helmet on outside of the car rather than in. They will all be superstitious in some way. But Loeb, he still leads it, obviously tied with Hirvonen, but his chances are running out if he does make a mistake. Now, the mistake can happen from anybody, you know what I mean? But Loeb's obviously thinking, I've had a couple of bad rallies here. They should have all been sewn up and I should have been celebrating from now on.
Let's go back, Josie, to what we talked about earlier on, to the road position issue. Because we'll assume that everyone has a good, clean rally, because that's what we want to see. We don't want to see the 2011 championship decided on punctures or mistakes, accidents. We want to see our top 3 boys having good, clean rallies for the next 2 events. Let's talk about what might be Sebastian Loeb's saving grace tomorrow. If it does stay dry, and he does lose a whole load of time in the first 5 stages of the rally, stage 6 of the rally is run in the dark. And it's run quite late at night. It's run at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening. It could well be that time of day. I've seen this stage again, and it's one of the dustiest on the rally. It could well be that Sebastian Loeb is saved by the dust behind him tomorrow evening. Do you think that's a concern for the likes of Hirvonen and Ogier?
Well, I'm not so sure, because we had a stage in Greece, didn't we, at night? Granted, it was a lot later, a lot stiller, but there wasn't really. I mean, Petter had that problem where they got lost in the pace notes and they dropped like 40 seconds, but the next car along didn't really come. It was once you got 7, 8, 9 cars in and there was more and more lingering dust. It was building up. I don't think he's going to have that much of he probably have some, but I don't think he'll have that much of an advantage over the likes of Mikko and Ogier, because they're right behind him. If they were 7 or 8 cars between, I think he could probably add 20 seconds into for potential dust. I've
driven both the stages. I drove the one in Greece, and I've driven.
Were you quick?
Yesterday I was quite quick. Safe but quick. Big difference in these stages. A huge difference. The one in Greece, yeah, obviously it's a gravel stage. You get a bit of dust, but it was a hard base, and there was a bit of loose dust on the top. This one, soft, dusty, narrow, huge amounts of dust. I mean, dust billowing from the back of my little car yesterday when I was going along. We're hearing that some of the boys have been up there to time how long it's taking for the dust to clear. It's taking over a minute and a half with a stiff breeze blowing for that dust to clear. And that's not a World Rally car. That's just a road car going through this stage. I genuinely think that 7:30, 8 o'clock, Friday evening could be where this year's championship is decided. Well, is this too big a call, do you think?
I think because they're second and third on the road behind him, yeah. But I don't know.
I've seen it before. I remember Australia a few years ago. Remember that final stage on the Friday in Australia when we were up on the plateau in the trees? Who was first on the road there and walked away with it? I think it was Mikko Hirvonen, wasn't it?
Yeah, but also, I mean, that stage in Greece had a big section of tarmac in the middle. This obviously hasn't got a massive section of tarmac. So.
No tarmac in it. Well, no, it has. It has got 2 Ks of tarmac.
Yeah, so that had about 8 Ks of tarmac. So, I mean, there's a lot more dust potential anyway. But I think with them being second and third, I don't think... I'd be surprised if... Maybe Ogier might be coming through saying there was some dust. I tell you what, it would just throw another, not spanner, but throw another turn and twist on it all, if it does, you know. And what Loeb might lose running first on the road, he could get all back in that stage. So it's, you know what I mean, poetic justice or whatever, I don't know, his licence because he's been penalised for the whole morning and then he gets it all back in the evening. But It's another fascinating twist of what we've had.
I think it's great, and I think this really justifies what the organisers of the Rally of Spain, it justifies the decision to put the gravel day in, because it makes things interesting. We're talking now about road position, we're talking about the potential for weather, for dust, and I think it's going to be a hugely entertaining weekend. Josie, we've only talked about the top three. A very quick word, because we've talked for a little while now, a very quick word